Hey, how's it going, big baller shot callers? Big Ken here. Welcome from the grid to the Rim Sports Talk Show. I'm doing the show solo tonight. I don't have my normal co-host here, Monty Brown, my best friend, and some of my other really good friends that are usually co-hosts, his nephew Dwayne, and some of my fellow football official friends who've been on the show during football season. But anyways, this is this me tonight, Big Ken here. So wow, 2024 Olympics, man. Paris Olympics, man. I thought it was very exciting. That's what the show is going to be about tonight. It's just going to be a recap of the Olympics, a recap of the men's and women's basketball teams winning gold. You'll talk about some other things throughout the Olympics during the recap. But first, I would say, wow. I won't get into the basketball games yet, but oh man, uh, France's women's team gave me a big scare. I didn't expect any games to be close for the women's side. But Gabby Williams for France played her butt off. I'll talk more about that once I get to that part of the show. But that surprised me. I wasn't as surprised on the men's side because I knew, my friend and I, Monty, who've been covering the Olympics, had said we expect some closer games, out of the men's side. But we knew the women. We thought the women would kind of stroll through it a little bit easier, if you will. But that wasn't the case at all. Well, let's talk about the Olympics. USA won 126 medals. Um, that might be the most ever. I wanted to look that up, but I do have some stats from other previous Olympics. The 2021 Olympics, USA had 113 medals overall. In 2016 in Rio, we had 121. And I believe in 2012, we had around 104. So this is by far the most medals out of the past four Olympics. I didn't go any further back than that, but wow, 126 medals. That's pretty darn good. We tied China for gold medals. We both had 40 gold medals apiece. Um, I was really glad the USA women's team got that gold, not just for our country, but and for themselves, obviously. But that gold medal tied China for gold medals. Some people count the medals different with who wins the Olympics. The USA was on top in first place, and China was number two. But some people just count on golds, how many golds you got, and some people count overall medals. Overall medals, USA was way ahead of everyone. Like I said, we had 126. China had 91, so they tied us in golds with 40, but they had 91 medals overall. And I got the sheets right here, but Japan had 45 medals overall, but 20 golds, so they were in third. Australia was in fourth place with 18 gold medals, but 53 overall. So they had more in Japan, but they had less gold medals. That's what I'm talking about. This depends on how you look at this. And then France, the host country, had 16 gold medals, but 64 overall. So they had more than Japan and Australia. So some people might consider them in third. It just depends on how you look at it. I'm sure the French are. But like I said, that was a big reason why I'm glad, Team USA secured that 40th gold medal to tie China. To tie China, excuse me. So there's no controversy about who won the Olympics. We won the Olympics big time, 126 to 91. We were like 35 medals ahead. So and that's been the case throughout most Olympics. But China has been closing the gap in the gold medals because last Olympics in 2021 Tokyo was the same thing. It came down to the last day for the USA to have, I think, one more gold medal than they did. I think 2021 we had 39 gold medals and they had 38. So pretty similar, both having 40 apiece, this year. So China is definitely closing the gap a little bit on the gold medal side. We're still winning overall medals, pretty good margin, but gold medals, China's catching up. Australia's doing better because there's a lot of competition between the U.S. and Australians swimming teams for the men and women. So that's taken away some of our gold medals because Australia is definitely becoming a big rivalry for U.S. swimming. So that's interesting. But one thing that's also really cool that I want to talk about real quick is we medaled in events that we haven't medaled in so long. That was also what was really cool about this Olympics. We how about Fischer? Not only does he win the not only does he get a bronze in the 10,000 meter race, he gets a bronze in the 5,000 meter race. I mean, that is so big. I mean, I can't even put it in words because no American long distance runner has even ever been able to compete in this event. When he won the bronze in the 10,000 meters, it had been like 60 some years since an American had even medaled in that race. And I'm not sure about the 5,000 meters, but that's got to be the first time an American has medaled in both the 10,000 meters and 5,000 meters in the same Olympics. So Fischer from Michigan, my old stomping grounds. Hey man, good job, brother. Because man, that hasn't been done in a long time. I'm sure he's happy. His family's happy. We're proud of you. America's proud of you, man. There's a lot of other, interesting stats too. How about Sha'Carri Richardson and her teammates winning the gold medal in the relay race? Sha'Carri Richardson was very emotional, during the national anthem. It showed how much it meant to her. And there's been so much, controversy around her because in 2021 she didn't qualify for the Tokyo Olympics because of her smoking weed or having, marijuana in her system, whatever the case may be. So she was disqualified, but she cleaned up her act, and she was in the Olympics this year, and she did good. She got silver individually in the 100-meter race, but she got a team gold for the relay. So I was really happy for her and her teammates, and her emotions showed during the national anthem, which I thought was just awesome, amazing, beautiful. Um, how about Noah Lyles? He didn't get the gold in the 200 meters, but he got a bronze in the 200 meters. But he did get the gold in the 100-meter race, which me and my friend Monty covered last show. That race was epic because of how close the finish was, with him just lunging over the finish line. With like 3 or 4 runners all within like basically no distance between them. The lunge is what kind of won it for him. So that was a crazy race. That probably go down as one of the craziest races ever for Olympics. But he won it. So good job with him finding a way to win that race and doing good in the 200 meters also. But there were some rumors about him being sick, during the 200 meters. But I don't want to make any excuses for him. But there was some rumors about him possibly like catching COVID. I don't know what's going on, but he had some kind of, illness. So not sure what it was, but I heard he wasn't 100% healthy. But don't want to make any excuses. I mean, we're all going through aches and injuries when we're in sports, and you just have to deal with them. But he did good getting a bronze medal. So good job, Noah Lyles. Women's fencing team won a gold medal. I know individually the U.S. fencer, she's won gold multiple times. But I think that's the first time a team we had won a gold. And what also was cool is like in the individual fencing, 2 Americans were fighting for the gold, so we are going to get gold no matter what. Her teammate, was going against her, was her opponent in the gold medal match for the individual fencing. So they won. So we won, obviously gold and silver, in that event. How about the U.S. women's soccer team? First gold medal since 2012. Brazil was no joke. Brazil brought their game. I thought they outplayed us in the first half big time. But we were playing a counterattack game, and we were able to counter against them in the second half, early in the second half to get the goal, which ended up being the game-winning goal. It was a very defensive game. We won 1-0, but both teams had multiple chances. Our American goalie kind of saved us in that game because Brazil could have scored 2 or 3 goals potentially, and she had some really good saves, some saves. So I'm surprised that game wasn't tied going to extra time, or if Brazil just would have won that because Brazil was on the attack, especially in the first half. They're really attacking us in the first half. They dominate possession in the first half, and we just went to, like I said, counter attack mode. But it worked out for us. So happy for the U.S. women's soccer team. But that game was a nail biter for sure. One thing I forgot to mention in the beginning of the show is the U.S. women. Let's talk about the U.S. women. So now we will get into basketball. The U.S. women has won 8 gold medals in a row. So and 61 games in a row, which is pretty crazy. So U.S. women have set a record, winning 8 gold medals in a row in the Olympics. But man, yeah, we had some blowout games where we won some games easily. Um, but like I said, open the show, man. France gave us a run for the money. Gabby Williams, who's played in the WNBA at times, but she also plays for France, obviously. So she's kind of playing for both teams internationally and for the WNBA off and on. That's kind of been some controversy because she wants the WNBA to do better with international players who are in the WNBA. So she's kind of been in and out of the WNBA. But anyway, she played her butt off, man, and she had like 19 points for the game, and you know, uh, yeah, she. I mean, France had a 10-point lead in the third quarter. Our best player, and obviously she got the MVP, was Asia Wilson. I thought Brandon Stewart could have got the MVP, but she did not have a good gold medal game. I thought before the gold medal game, she was by far the most consistent player um, throughout the whole Olympics. I mean, and Asia Wilson was doing good, was kind of like the number two, in my opinion, behind Brianna Stewart. But then Asia Wilson definitely surpassed her, and she deserved it. By the way, Asia Wilson definitely deserved the MVP because she was really one of the very few U.S. players playing really good. We kind of picked a bad time to have off game. I don't want to take anything away from France, but that definitely was not the U.S. women's best game by far. But we had players step up in the second half. Copper for U.S. women had a really big fourth quarter. I mean, she was scoring buckets left and right, and Kelsey Plum did well. So Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Copper, I thought were the three key players to help us win the goal. But man, like I said, it came down. Gabby Williams took a shot and made it, but her foot was just inside the 3-point line. So the U.S. women won 67-66. But I'm telling you, if her foot was just about 10 inches back, we're going into overtime, tied 67-67, and who knows what's going to happen. So congrats to the women getting their 8th gold medal, but a little bit surprising. A lot of people have comments on that saying what to think about the U.S. women not playing to their best. What I say is, look, this kind of stuff happens. One, we got a target on our back. We've won 61 games in a row. We had won 7 gold medals in a row up to that point. Of course, now 8 because we won the game. But we definitely have a target. People are going to give us their best games because we are the team that everyone wants to beat because we've been on top. The U.S. women have been on top for so long. So, yes, in some ways, I'm a little bit disappointed, but on the other side of things, it just happens, you gotta get, in my opinion, you gotta give the U.S. women some credit, not having their best game and still like gutting it out, like this willing themselves to victory. Asia Wilson, Copper, Plum, like I was saying, like in those kind of games, in those kind of games when you're not playing your best game, I mean, you just gotta suck it up and find a way to get the W at the end. And I think the U.S. women did that. So I'm okay with it. Of course, yes, I would like to see them play better and France not even be in the game. But France was a home country, and they have a really good team. The French men and women have both had very good basketball teams. They're right there with the United States. So not surprised the French women were in this gold medal game. So congratulations to the U.S. women. Congratulations to Asia Wilson getting the MVP. We all know she's going to be the WA MVP when the season, picks up. Here, getting to finish off their season before the WNBA playoffs here at the end of the summer, early fall time frame before the NBA starts. So, yeah, congrats to the U.S. women. U.S. men, they've won 5 gold medals in a row. 8 out of the last 9 Olympics. 8 gold medals out of the last 9. We all know the one they didn't win. We've talked about this many times on our show. The 2004 Olympics, they settled for a bronze. But they've won 5 in a row. Since then. Definitely don't like what happened in the semifinals game against Serbia. Kind of same thing I was saying about the women. We were down by 17 points. We're still down by double digits going into the fourth quarter. Steph Curry and LeBron James just willed us to a victory. Steph Curry hit 9 3-pointers, 36 points for the game. Steph Curry really the last 2 games put the men's team on his back. Other players were playing well, but he was by far the best player, and those were by far his best two games of the Olympics. So really happy for Steph Curry because I like how he goes about his business. He's just quiet. He's humble. He doesn't say a lot. He lets his game do all the talking for him. That's what I like about him. He seems to be an all around good guy, and yeah, and LeBron James. How about LeBron James? He was the quarterback the whole entire way, dishing out assists. He had double doubles every game, pretty much, with scoring in double digits and getting double digits assists and all kinds of rebounds. I mean, LeBron James was very consistent. So was KD and Booker, Devin Booker. So I thought those 4 players were the best players for the United States. Devin Booker, KD, LeBron James, Steph Curry. Can't forget about Ant-Man also. Once Steph Curry got hot in the semifinals and finals games, Ant-Man didn't play as much because, of course, the coach is going to go with the hot hand. But Devin Booker played very well throughout the whole entire Olympics. He just didn't get as much playing time the last 2 games because Steph Curry caught fire. But Ant-Man was a 5th player I thought that played well, and this was his very first Olympics, being a very young player. I liked what Ant-Man did, and I liked the future of USA men's basketball with Ant-Man and Devin Booker and some of these other guys leading the charge. Jason Tatum. He didn't play a lot, but Jason Tatum is a very good player. Kind of funny thing about him is he played a lot the previous Olympics in 2021, but he didn't play as much this time. Some people say it's coaching styles. I don't know what the case is. You guys can leave thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts about Jason Tatum, why he didn't play. Was it because some people are saying because Steve Kerr didn't want to play him? I think Steve Kerr has nothing against him. Of course, there's all kinds of memes and people chattering saying that he did. I think it's just Steve Kerr is playing the hot hand, and Jason Tatum did get in. The person who really didn't get in a whole lot at all was Halliburton. Halliburton is another guy who's going to lead Team USA. He was the 12th man, basically, didn't hardly get in at all. But is he deserving of a gold medal? Of course he is, absolutely. He still made the USA men's basketball team. He's playing with 11 other very elite players. A couple of them are for sure Hall of Famers, and he's the future of men's basketball, like, Devin Booker and Ant-Man. So those 3 players alone are going to lead Team USA in the future. And you still got Drew Holiday. Not sure how old he is, but he might, still be around. You got, White. You also have, White for the Boston Celtics. He could still be around. So yeah, like I said, men's basketball is still in a very, very good position, in my opinion. But I was surprised. Besides the Serbia game, I was surprised, like I said, to open up the show. Like, it seems like I thought the men might have some bigger challenges in some of the preliminary games and the quarterfinal games, but they were blowing people out. Like I said, they did come back from 17 down, which is scary. They never should have got down by that much, but like I said about the women, they still came back though. There's a lot of people talk about that, like, how do we get down by that much? We're Team USA. Other countries only have maybe 2 or 3 NBA players playing on their team, and our whole team is the NBA players. A couple of them have been MVPs of the league and blah 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 blah, which is all true. But like my colleagues and I have been saying on this show many times, the international men's basketball has like grown big time. It is in the last 10 or 12 years, international men's basketball has changed completely. There are teams that are there right with us. NBA has all kinds of international players all over the NBA. So they are playing in NBA. Then they're going back to their home countries to play for their national teams in Olympics and world championships and that kind of stuff. So, so yeah, it's not going anywhere. Like the U.S. men will be challenged. Let me go back to women real quick. I don't think they're as challenged, but yes, they did get a big challenge by France. But I don't think they are as challenged as quite as much as the men. Will U.S. women's basketball continue to grow throughout the world? Absolutely, and I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or 15 years. I think U.S. women will be challenged more, like the guys, probably, in the next 10 or soon. Maybe the next Olympics, definitely the Olympics after 8 years from now, but maybe even the next Olympics, 4 years. There could be a lot of growth during that time frame, you know. But I do think the women still have a little bit, somewhat of a bigger gap. That's not just to disrespect other countries, um, but I think the men's gap is much smaller than the women's gap as of now. We'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Before closing, I got to mention the Australian woman breakdancer. Don't know much about her. I didn't see it live. It's been all over the internet, so people leave comments on that. I didn't know if it was a joke. I didn't know if this person actually qualified. I didn't know if it was a hoax. I didn't know what the heck was going on. So I kind of saw a quick video of some of the moves, and some people were saying, "Well, how does this person even qualify for the Olympics?" Because other break dancers were actually real break dancers, and you're not saying she's not, but I don't know. It didn't seem like it, kind of. But these people have been working hard, you know. And this was the first time breakdancing's been in the Olympics, and you know, a lot of people are taking it seriously, and some people think she's not taking it seriously. Of course, it's supposed to have fun. We're all supposed to have fun in competitions. That's what makes it worthwhile doing it. But at the same time, there's like a little bit level of a seriousness where you're not disrespecting the sport. You know, you're not disrespecting other athletes. You're not disrespecting the Olympics as a whole. That's what some people are talking about. So I don't know. I still don't know what to think about that. It was, one thing I know, it was funny. It was real funny. I'm like, I could do that, man. I'm 50 years old. So yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't know, man. But the other funny thing is, I have friends on social media, some Navy buddies on Facebook, saying, "Hey, they're going to do this the next Olympics." Of course, they're not serious, but it's just funny that they're saying that, like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this, man." Like, so they think it was just hilarious. They think it's a riot. So I don't know. I think it's kind of tarnishing. I don't know. I don't want to sound wishy washy, but I'm kind of like 50-50 on it because, like I said, yes, you should have fun. The Olympics is all about having fun, making new friendships. You know, enjoying the experience, seeing great athletes throughout the whole entire world, like meeting lifelong friends, not only for your own country, like the United States for us, but other meeting friends, you know, international friends, you know, because that's what's cool. So that's what the Olympics is about, and that's why I don't know what to think about this Australian, you know, dancer, like what her purpose was, you know, in the Olympics. You know, does that tarnish that? Is a big question. Um, but hey, man, in closing now, LA Olympics, LA 28. I love the closing ceremonies that France had. I loved how they passed it off to you know, LA 2020. I love the music groups they selected. All the music groups were from LA. Red Hot Chili Peppers, um, Billie Eilish. Um, my favorite part was Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Those are my guys, man. I love the Super Bowl a couple years ago when they were part of the halftime show. Anytime Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre get together, that's a good time for me. That brings back memories with, you know, my friends, especially a lot of my friends who I do this show with, Monty, his nephew Dwayne, and just all the guys we hung out with back in El Paso, Texas, my old stomping grounds. And yes, I said Michigan was my stomping grounds earlier because yes, I was born in Michigan, but I'm an Army brat, and I ended up doing all my high school in El Paso, Texas, and joining the Navy out of El Paso, Texas, and stuff. So I consider both places home in its own way. But yeah, it brought back some memories for sure with some of my old El Paso friends with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. But please leave your comments on what you thought about the Olympics. I thought they were great. Let's know. Just let me know what you thought your favorite event was, favorite athlete. You know, anything about the Olympics in general. Just leave comments. You know, let me know what you think about the U.S. men's and women's basketball teams, how they did. You know, like so, U.S. winning 126 medals overall was really good. You know, so we had a great Olympics. It's been a great summer, but hey, felt people, football is coming back. The next show is going to be football, probably a college football show, then NFL after that. So can't wait for football. It's here. They're already playing preseason games. One big thing football is JJ McCarthy is already out for the season with some kind of knee injury, so that's big news. But we'll talk about that more when we have a show, just related to college football and the NFL here in a couple of weeks. But thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. Have a good night. Peace.